for you. So like I said, Truck Hub, we don't charge for the platform. The platform is going to store all your PODs, every one of your shipments indefinitely. It is on Google Cloud Server. And whenever your agents send over what we call a delivery order, what we do is we generate that delivery order into a digital document. That's called a new shipment. And we basically, right now, we manage 3 modes of domestic transportation, all fully asset-based. Today, any customer we onboard, we focus on 150-mile radius first, which is our LTL platform. We are part of a holding company that offers LTL, asset-based, container drayage, as well as over-the-road trucking. So the agent sends over what we call a delivery order. Our data entry specialist enters that delivery order, and then we convert that into this digital document. We upload that delivery order into the Truck Hub system, and then it goes into what we call pending status. That pending order will be this right here, which will be a digital document. You'll see exactly this. You just won't have the capacity of editing it. You'll be able to see a status bar with date and timestamps. You'll be able to see an invoice, and you'll be able to see contacts, everybody involved in the shipment. If we pay anything for you at the airline, if internally we have any repairs, we put it here and it's all documented. We're also able to message and speak to the driver in real time. So there's no need for our staff on the back office side to be using cell phones. We can talk to the driver and they can see it on their cell phone. We're able to upload any kind of documentation, as well as a copy of the bill of lading goes here. And then anytime that we want to send you automatic status updates to your email, we could do that right here. And the agent can see status updates on their email as well. So when we think about Truck Hub, we think about a repository where everybody can be communicating in one place, and through the lifetime of the cycle of the shipment, as well as after the shipment's completed, you know exactly what happened with milestones. So we're going to look at map view, which is the core of the shipment, and you're going to be able to go into the status bar, and you can look at completed shipments and date ranges. You can change date ranges as far back as you want. And you can look at what we're going to go back to a completed shipment. Sorry about that. Let's look at a completed shipment. So you'll get these icons on the map that'll show all your completed shipments. If you go to details, you'll see a status bar that'll have milestones with date and timestamps of every milestone in that shipment, from when the agent accepted the order to when he or she dispatched it, to when the driver got it, when the invoice was created. And then what's cool is that when the agent on their driver app takes a picture of the bill of lading, you'll get that in real time. And when you look at it in your email, and I'll show you in my outbox, in my Outlook, you guys see my Outlook here?
Mm-hmm.
Benny, do you see the Outlook here?
Yes.
You're actually going to get an automatic email every time a milestone happens, and you'll actually get that same POD by email. So we realize that a lot of the antiquated customers, especially in freight forwarding, manage everything through email. So we're not changing or asking anybody to change and log into a portal. Ideally, futuristically, we would like that. But for now, everything gets done by email as well. And the great part is that at any time an agent can click track your package, and without having to log into a system, they'll get access to a real-time link, but that link will not have an invoice, will not have a value of that shipment, but will have real-time tracking and a status bar. So they could, on their Outlook email, have real-time tracking, and if they would like to see the actual invoice, they can do that. That's the core of Truck Hub. There's a lot of other things Truck Hub does, like the ability to quote, load boards, which allows you to export all the data points into a CSV. And it allows you also to manage all your billing in My Loads. I don't like to show that to customers until they have at least a month of data in there and show them their real data. But I do like to show customers, like a current customer we're working with. We work with basically every major freight forwarder in Miami, DSV, C.H. Robinson, Kuehne Nagel. Every major freight forwarder is on our platform right now, either in a small scale or large scale. And we are a holding company that manages, like I said, and I'll show you for a minute. We do domestic trucking across the country. We don't onboard right now any customers on the domestic nationwide side right away. We always start on the last mile at first, but like you can see here, these are all our over-the-road trucks. So we are a multi-vertical asset-based trucking company across the United States, all on our platform, Truck Hub. We start off just local last mile, make sure not every customer is the right fit, because we are a technology-based company. We want to make sure that the customers that we onboard with understand the technology and evolve with us on technology. I'm actually logging into C.H. Robinson's portal now, so you can kind of see the shipper side. So I'm gonna show you their load board for a minute, like in truckloads. I'm gonna go to truckloads, for example. Oops, sorry about that. And I'm gonna go. This is actually an old portal. There you go. So this is like C.H. Robinson, and as you can see, we take pictures of the freight for LTL. Here's the proof of delivery. So the great thing is that a lot of times, I've been doing this for 20 years. A lot of times customers would ask, hey, I need a proof of delivery, and it'd take 24 to 48 hours to get it. If there's a shortage, weight discrepancy, you'd figure it out 2-3 days. Now you get that in real time. It's not perfect. Our KPI ratio is about 93%. Not every driver does exactly what we're asking him to do every time. We are always working on that. That's the challenge. Our driver application is on the Google Play Store, on the Google Store, and as well as iTunes. So every driver does do a training for 24 hours, does a training with another driver for 2 days, learns the application. We're always evolving it. All our coders are in-house in Miami working and evolving our application. But that's the biggest challenge we face, is just working with our drivers on improving the quality of the data that they're putting in there. But yeah, as you can see here, we're constantly working on getting this kind of information into the platform in real time. These proof of deliveries like this. Any questions so far?
No, good.
This is great. This is exciting.
Yeah. So I've been on FreightWaves. If anybody's familiar, I've done demos there for 3-4 years. We connect directly via API to C.H. Robinson. I do a FreightWave. I do a podcast every week. I'll show you that for a minute. It's called The Freight Guru. I don't personally do operations at all. Benny and handles that kind of stuff. And I just focus on the technology side. Benny's really good at managing the day-to-day operations. We do quote within 5 minutes by email. Our rates are not based on providing this technology. I think we're very competitive to the local Miami market. I don't think we're the cheapest, but I think that we're very competitive. The value added in the technology isn't about providing more expensive rates. It's just about providing more visibility. So we're constantly onboarding new customers on the LTL side, and if it's the right fit, then we can obviously explore drayage, which obviously every customer is looking for drayage capacity right now. I'm sure you guys are, and over the road trucking as well.
So Benny, did And we got your contact through Marisol. Did you visit with Marisol, or how did?
I did not. I just reached out to her. I was doing some research on local companies and just basically sent out a quick email to her, and she responded. I appreciate her giving me the time. I understand you have like a warehouse fulfillment system, and again, I think this local delivery a program of ours would be a good fit for that. Again, we service Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County, and I would think that with this technology and the be able to see proof of deliveries and would be important to you guys. And real-time tracking is also very, I've dealt with other local pickup delivery companies before, and you're constantly trying to figure out where they are, what's the dispatch status, and that all that is done via email. With this online platform, it would cut down on the administrative, that those administrative times spent on that. We also have drayage. I know that you were pushing to see if we get some capacity for you. I'm still working with dispatch to see if we could help you out with those too.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Marisol told you about us, but so been in business almost 30 years. I came on board 19 months and counting. We launched the international side pre-COVID, and we're very successful our first year, despite of COVID and everything else that's going on. So we do between 500 and 600 LTL shipments a week, about 100, 120 truckloads, John, something like that.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, and on the international side, I mean, we're doing anywhere between 45 and 100 containers per month. And that summer, the majority of that's been Miami, but we've found some other customers now. Now we're in Baltimore, Newark, New York City, Houston, of course, our big headache, LA. And then we do a lot of IPI service through Chicago. So we're kind of in a little bit of everything. We do have our own platform we have our own TMS for the US, for the LTL, obviously, and we can API link pretty much anybody's, rates and TMS system into ours. It's pretty easy. Internationally, we do have an operating system that's different than the domestic, obviously, because of all the bits and pieces and everything else that has to work. And I've been doing this almost 30 years, and on the international side, I've sold for LTL companies and started expedited companies and been in freight forwarding since 97. So, and John is our COO, and we're trying to expand this thing to the next level. So that's a 50,000 foot overview, and just so you know where we're at.
Okay, so are you in South Florida, or are you operating at a different location?
I am in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay. Is that where, I know that I did some online research on Astra. Is that where your distribution center is, or is that in South Florida?
We have a warehouse in South Florida. How many warehouses we have, John?
Oof. I know down here we have 3 down here, and then what do we have one in Alabama, one in South Carolina.
Yeah, and then Atlanta. We got Dallas, Houston. I know we're missing some. I deal mostly with the international, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's our focus, and obviously we do a lot of domestic air too. So that's kind of why I was asking you all the questions. We're so used to the traditional local PUDs where, hey, I have an airport recovery fee and then I have the delivery fee, and that's where you get all the questions from me.
We do service the airlines every day. We have a run, several drivers that are in the air cargo facility on a daily basis. So
yeah, we are on Verut. We are on Verut. I don't know if you guys are on Verut. We connect to Verut. Most of the Miami area is connected to Verut, so we can set up. Are you guys set up on Verut right now or no?
Didn't even know anything about it. Tell me about it.
I can show you for a minute. So Varut is something that I highly recommend. It's a compliance tool that I think it's super easy to use. Actually, it's right here. So you guys are obviously an IAC. So you set up an IAC and you do all your compliance with Varut. So
Yeah, we're in the process of, but luckily, the TSA, something that's supposed to take 90 days is, now 6 months.
yeah, I would just log. I would just set up an account with Varut. You pay a monthly subscription and you could get rolling with them. It's super easy. And instead of doing all the compliance through the TSA, you run all your training and everything through Varut, and then you set up relationships through Varut, and then you set up your contracts or it's not contracts, it's your TSA relationships through Varut. So your TSA sensitive SSI information through here. So I highly recommend.
So all your agent letters and
Yeah.
everything else. Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you guys are just starting that now and doing air freight, you're better off building that foundation now than doing it later and doing all the just keeping files. TSA really likes Varut, and when you meet with these guys and they see that you're on Varut, they tend to give you a pass immediately instead of giving you a hard time.
Okay.
It's worth the investment. It's not a big investment.
Yeah, we have a partner in Dallas that's coming on board, and he's in the same boat. He's waiting. And we'll have an LA office too that's coming on board. We're just waiting for the IAC. So,
How many are you currently picking up shipments from the airlines?
we don't do a ton domestically. Internationally, we're probably and we're not a CH Robinson. We're small to medium size, so anywhere from three to six shipments a day we're juggling. So
that's perfect for us. I mean, honestly, some of the big guys, tend to be a little more kind of harder to manage. Yeah, so we'd rather have multiple local companies that like a smaller base type shipper than some of the big monsters that we deal with. But again, we have several drivers at the airlines daily. We can pick up from your facility and take to the airlines with your local distribution and fulfillment. If we can set up a regular run from your facility, we have a truck there in the morning and make the deliveries. And again, you'll have all that tracking information at your fingertips.
Yeah, and typically we try to avoid touching. So usually we'll send, our agent in to recover and deliver. Just number one, we don't want to add and that's another process too. So if we send in our current provider, they recover and then deliver next day. And right now with the congestion and everything else, I'm assuming you guys are doing the same.
No, we could pick up and deliver same day. Depends on the point. If it's northern Palm Beach County, or if it's late pickup, if we're under time constraints, that might be an issue. But we could pick up and recover same day if we have a day's notice.
Yeah, and if you're there at 6 or 7 when they open, or Korean Air that opens at 8, and
it really depends on the congestion and how long it takes to get out of the airlines.
Yeah, and we don't want to listen. We've done this for too long. We have great relationships with our vendors, and hey, stuff happens, and we tell customers that all the time. We're going to tell you what's happening. We don't hide anything. You can be mad at me because we told you too much. That's what we tell them all the time. But we communicate very well, and we do the same thing with our vendors. We want to be. I hate to use a cliche partner, but we all have to make money at this, and if we're creating headaches and heartaches for you, then we need to know. And same thing, we'll give you feedback.
Well, if you're getting some problems from the customer, the great thing about our tracking system that you could send a link. You could send them, hey, this truck's been at Turkish Air for an hour waiting, and we have that live tracking link. that you could cut and paste and send to them. Again, it doesn't have any pricing information. It's just a tracking link with the geofencing and the timing on it. And you could show, hey, this guy is, was checked in at 9 o'clock in the morning. He's still there. Once he's moving, then it's real-time tracking too. So it's a good tool for you if you have a demanding customer.
Our customers are pretty good. One of our biggest customers is Boynton Beach. So that kind of creates an issue because you get an hour and a half one way with traffic. So and they're not really demanding, but as long as they can see, they're fine. And right now we handle it through telephone and text. So this would be something different, technology based, which we love. We're kind of techie gurus, not guru. We're not the freight gurus or anything, but we're definitely love technology.
Visibility is impressive.
Yes, that's what we offer. The visibility that we show. Once it's picked up, you can see where the carrier, the units being tracked in real time with GPS tracking. Which if you're going to Boynton Beach, let's say it picks up at 9 o'clock at the Miami airport, they're able to see the progress of that driver going up the coast. It's not a phone call and you're calling a dispatcher. Hey, where is he? Oh, he's on 95 going through Broward. It's real time.
So walk me through a process here, Benny. So I can quote online, correct?
We don't currently have that perfected yet. We have a rate sheet that's pretty in depth, but again, we can provide quotes for you on a spot basis.
So let me answer that, Benny. Yeah. So the answer is yes. You can quote online, but it's all based on DAT's 15-day average right now. We're trying to build right now enough customer demand. So the answer is that yes, in theory, you can get a rate online, but it's based on DAT's API, what the current market conditions are. Right. It's based on one leg, so the rates are going to be way higher than what we're actually going to provide you. It's basically right now for spot rates so that you can get a rate, because we do a lot of transactional business on the internet where somebody will just reach out to us through either PPC, SEO, and want a rate. It's not really set up for you guys. We are setting it up if there is a demand for it, where we can set up specific rates for customers by profile and have that rate structure. But the reality is that look, I have relationships with every freight forwarder in Miami. Everybody knows me. And what my frustration is as a tech guy that writes actual code and actually does technology every day is that I spend 6 months creating it and then nobody uses it, and everybody ends up still sending me my agents an email. Hey, I want an email with the rate, right? So that's the frustration. So I don't know where we're going to go with that. Right now, what I did was the ability, if Benny gives you access right now, I can give you what DAT says is the rate for Miami, which is going to be $250, right? Or $252. But the reality is that if it's one pallet, it's way more. If it's a full truckload, it's about the rate. So no, the answer is that it's the DAT rate. Yes, we do have a quoting system right now. If we could get Kuehne Nagel, DSV, the big boys to actually quote online, I would do it in a heartbeat, because I would eliminate half the labor that we use every day to quote by email. I haven't been able to actually execute that right now.
Yeah, and John will tell you, we'll get 300 emails by noon.
Yeah,
just because of quotes and follow up and everything. So, and I'll tell you, we use Forward Air, and the reason we use Forward Air, I know they're not. Hey, there's other cheaper options we can use, because I can quote online. I can take that quote, I can convert it to a booking, I can upload my documents, and I can track and trace on that website.
Yeah, no, I get it. And for some reason with LTL freight, like, we have a relationship with Global Trans, like we are an agent of Global Trans for our LTL freight. And like, we really don't use it, but we use it whenever we need to, because we're, just for stuff that we can't physically put an asset on. And people are willing to do that for obviously LTL and Forward Air. But our customers, our own freight forwarders that are B2B, agents that are sitting at a desk that are willing to go on Forward Air or AAA want an email with a base rate, an a fuel rate, and accessorial charges for 200 pounds, 2 pallets, whatever, from Miami to Boynton Beach. I don't know why. I don't know why. And Ben, Benny's been in the industry a long time. I don't know why. I wish I did. I really don't know why. I really don't know why.
That's kind of where I was going with my questioning. Is from quote to book, and then obviously all your platform kicks in after the booking. But and listen, I'm like you. If we can kill an email or kill a phone call through a technology platform, we're all for it. And that just reduces our workload. It helps us balance workload, so we're not so heavy.
Yeah. So the answer is and I got to get rolling. Unfortunately, I have a meeting at 10:30. But the answer is like right now we are set up like this is our quoting platform, and I can show you. We got request a quote, and then you have your pending quote list. You have your approved quote list. So the answer is you put a rate here. You put your weight, your dimensions. The only thing is it's going to give you a rate for DAT. So if I put 33167, for example. I'll do a quick one here. I'm just going to put any address. And like I'm talking to you on the phone right now, I can put the rate manually and then put any customer. And whoever I'm quoting, and I can do it. Right. We have the capability of doing that. And if you would go online right now, I would log in in the shipper platform, for example, and I would request a quote. Sorry. So if I would go 33167 Miami to let's say it's 121 pounds, it's 21 cubic feet. So you see it pulls the DAT rate, and then I would have to go, it just tells you it's an estimated rate, and then I got to go in the system myself. It wouldn't be me, but it would be one of our sales reps. We go to pending quotes right now. I see the quote and I know that rate's high. And I put, no, that rate's actually $125. And then the agent, my customer would actually see now. You see how she sees now that $125, where originally it was 352. Did you guys see that?